I want to recognize the team in the room, of course, staff from GIS. Good morning to everyone. This morning, we are again happy from the Ministry of Education to share with you information. We view it as extremely important to account to the general public on what we do. And more specifically this morning, we are going to be speaking about the placement of students in our secondary schools for the school year beginning 2020 September. But this morning, I want to share some more general information with us. And our officers who are present this morning will, of course, provide details as needed. So first, I want to congratulate all of the students who are moving off to secondary schools. I want to commend and recognize their parents, principals, teachers, and all other stakeholders, staff at the Ministry of Education, and all who worked with those students throughout their period in primary school. Of course, as we remember, the Ministry of Education took a decision which was approved by Cabinet that we were not going to be doing the CPA exam this year. And so we did give you before the internal scores and the MCT test and all of that we were going to use to determine those students who are going to be moving on. So we had 1,872 students sitting the exam. Of that amount, we are going to be retaining 129 students, and all others proceed on to secondary school level. Of course, Mr. Mitchell from the exam unit would provide details. Let me use this opportunity to encourage our parents out there that you do and continue to do all that is possible to support these students as they move on. Of course, my commitment from the Ministry of Education is that we would continue to do all that is possible to give these students an opportunity to succeed at the secondary level. Working to give every child an opportunity to succeed. While we speak about the students, and you notice how I coined this, maybe a little different to how John Hill will, I focused a little bit on the students who will remain in primary school. And this morning, I want to say that if you look back over the years since we started the CPA, and if you look back to our common entrance, you would see historically we have been keeping back a number of students because of their performance on those exams. Let me say that the Ministry of Education is not comfortable about this. And at the same time, we are not comfortable with just sending every child to a secondary school without the support system that will ensure that these students are able to succeed. And so we are going to be expanding a couple programs beginning this summer vacation, and we want to give the commitment to the public that we are going to change this forever. I want to also connect that to the point that we have 16 special needs teachers who are now in training on scholarship from the Ministry of Education at St. George's University. And also to say that we have just received endorsement from Cabinet for a special program. That program targets secondary school students who are what I would call marginalized students, students who have displayed certain behavior in schools that we are concerned, and we categorize them as at-risk students, meaning that the possibility of those students not reaching their fullest potential is high, and we are attempting to nip that problem in the bud. In addition to that, we have received also the approval of Cabinet and will be launching in September a special values-based education program. And that would see the strengthening of existing programs in our schools, such as HFLE, but to give greater focus and emphasis to that of the need and the importance of soft skills. When we turn out a student who has done well academically, we want to look at the flip side of that coin. How is that child doing in areas such as emotional intelligence and others? And we want to create that important balance. The important thing is that every learner must succeed. I want to also update us this morning as it relates to that period just completed, the last term, reopening of school, phased approach, commending our stakeholders, all of those who have worked so hard. I want to specifically reference our principals and teachers, of course, our educational officials, counselors, ancillary staff, and of course, parents for the role that you played in making this such a success. Over $200,000 was spent during this period, committed during this period, to ensure that we had adequate supply as well as employment of additional staff on the ground to facilitate the reopening of school last term. Just to also add, during that period, we facilitated the launch of a special app, over 20,000 questions available to those students preparing. And so we launched, in addition to that, the MSTER platform, on which students had the opportunity to assist the preparation for the CSEC examination. And that came with real-time marking of examination, analytics, and so on. The zero rating of the platform would have also supported those students, and we believe, we are satisfied, I'm sure John L. would speak to that also, that we have done as much as we could have done to support some of these students as they prepare. Of course, CEO would also speak to that. We facilitated training of our teachers during that period, over 1,600 teachers, and I'm sure that training would have also impacted the preparation of the students for the exam. We produced a series of over 50 mathematics programs for students preparing for those exams as well. And as I said before, while our students have been challenged during this period, the Ministry of Education has been working extremely hard with all of our stakeholders to ensure that we do the best we could to prepare these students. The psychosocial parents, we launched a program assisting parents, and I'm sure all of that contributed to the preparation of our students. Quick update on school infrastructure. So while we respond to COVID-19, of course, all of our HR needs, our infrastructural needs are still there, and we continue to work. I want